How late am I? Oh, I'm just a minute late. That's silly nonsense for me. That's nothing. How are we today? Who's here? Hey, Kestrel. Joanne Hawley's here. Mods, thank you for being here. Hey, cheeky brat. Abigail, welcome. Alicia, I love that you're here. Nicole the Kiwi. Alicia, again, I want to say thank you for all those memberships the other day. That was so nice of you, and it just makes people so excited. And I just want to say thank you for that. The viruses, are they here? I think I saw Rain. The trips captain. Yorkie Mom. Hey, Ursina. Welcome. Hey, Rhonda McNeil. Life's a Journey Tammy. Hey, Jessica West. Sassy Gigi. Michelle Brewer, guys. She was on our live yesterday. Welcome, Michelle. I loved that live. That was really special. Hey, up in the north, Dragon Wrangler, Catherine, Alana, Puka Vista. Hey, Martha Slemmer. Martha, by the way, thank you for correcting me on the P.O. box thing. That was a helpful tip. Bethany Finn, Amanda Deer, Dark Roast Siren. Yeah, Michelle was fantastic. I can't wait to have her on again because that's kind of what I want to follow up about today, honestly. Sorry about that. Welcome. Who, what, where now? Rachel Sandy. It has been a bit. Hey, Linda Perales, Swedish Lena. You don't have to wake up Joe. Right? Wisconsin Barb. Hey, Lupe. Robin W. Don Gloves. Katie Fulton. I love you, babe. Shelly, thank you for being here, Shell. Chatty Kathy, welcome, girl. I'm glad you caught a live. Nicola, Jessica West, Kimmy Steele, Armine. I love you, Armine. Jeannie Hansen, Nancy Stitchin. I love it when you come into a live. Love it when you catch it. Lumen's here. I love Lumen. Do I have lipstick on my teeth? No. Ev Barney, that's okay. Dragon Reader, Mary Barons. Mary, I just want to tell you, I won't share. I saw it on Facebook. I won't share it here because it's yours to share. It's your business. But I do want to say I'm sorry. Mary had a loss in her family, and I saw that today. And I just want to tell you I'm really sorry. It made me very sad to read that. Catherine B., I'm glad that you made it. I'm sorry you've been having a rough day, week, and month. That's awful, girl. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Anne, J. Bell. Audrey made it. Hey, Reese, cried today. I'm so happy. I'm happy that you're here then. Audrey, I love you. Abigail, just don't, I believe it. I wouldn't even tell you, don't text and drive or watch and drive. You're so good at that kind of thing. I know you wouldn't. Hey, Caroline in the moment. Marion Calabro. Marion Calabro, thank you for the nice compliment yesterday during that live when you said I was good at what I do. That was really nice of you. Lupita T, Angie Mo, Christy Lynn Wilson, hey Rogue Hedgie, Michelle Ferrier, Deborah Ricci made it. Hey, Brian Lucas. That's okay, Brian Lucas. You're allowed to miss one every once in a while. Joe, I feel bad. We didn't want to wake you up, brother. Trixie, Liz Trix. Hey, again, up in the north. Mama Smurf, P. Taylor, Elizabeth Vigil. That dusty Joe virus. He is dusty, but in such a good way. Rio for life, Kim D. I feel like it's been a minute since I've seen you. Hey, Laura Lou. I love you, Shelly. I'm really glad that you mod. You're so good at it. I hope that you enjoy it. If you don't, let me know. I always tell my mods that. Their life always comes first. This is not a priority. Galen, welcome. Charlotte, VJ Burke. Yeah, definitely condolences to Mary. Deanna Downey. Dinky, I haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome. I'm glad you're back. Hey, Jezebella Mode. Hey, Wendy Brewer. I'm sorry to hear that, Wendy Brewer. Yeah, listening and driving Kestrel is totally fine. I know we didn't want to wake you up, Joe, but welcome. I'm glad you're here. Hey, VT Kitten, Margie Barr, J9. Okay, I'll reach out to Natalie. I'm going to do a stream with her tomorrow. We're going to do a Desperate Housewives stream, and it's going to be hilarious. I already know it. Susie with an S, Franklin MC, Marissa Martin's here. No, Rogue Hedgie, you're not. Aw, happy birthday to your 16-year-old. That's awesome. Huxley's birthday is 1 month from today. He will be 15. So we're a year behind your kid. Happy birthday. Thank you so much for noticing, Rhonda McNeil. I did the best I could because whenever I have a hat on, that usually means I need to wash my hair. Hey, Lori E. Nora had a meltdown yesterday. I'm sorry to hear that, ex-witness Vernon. I did not know that. Lily Scissorhands. You're a lurker. I love that. Thank you for that compliment, my friend. And thank you for coming out of lurker mode. Janetta, welcome. Joanne Ventrilla's here. Ms. Weedy Poo. Guys, this is so nice of you to join me in the afternoon. Lori Lee. Thank you, Audrey. Hey, Shannon C. Well, Susie with an S, I love calling your name, girl. Hey, Tallulah. Joanne, that's so nice. I love when people gift memberships. I don't know. It lights me up inside. I think it's really a kind thing to do because I love how much the crowd loves it. I love when somebody gets a membership. I think that's so cool. I didn't even know you could do that till recently, and I think it's really special. Charcoal Ninja, I don't know if this is tourmaline or tourmaline. These are just all different colored gemstones. This one, I never wear it. I should wear it more. Michelle Ferrier, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's horrible. Yes. The Facebook screenshot to use to do with Aaron. I have raging heartburn. I made chili yesterday and it turned out great, but I really spiced it up and I had some for lunch today. And oh my God, my esophagus is on fire. Shane, welcome. Baby steps. I'm just glad you're here. Linda G. Hey, Reese and friends, Linda G. But it says Tommy. Interesting. All right. Hey, Linda G. Annette Rose. Raymond. Oh my God. Nora's breakdown made me subscribe to her. That's terrible. I'm sorry that she had a breakdown. I had no idea. That's okay, Dinky. I'm just glad you're back. Thank you for being on the replay crew. Hey, Joy of Cats. It is nice that you caught alive. What's the green ring? Well, this is turquoise. And this is, I'm guessing, opal, but I don't know. And it's a little bit too big, so I put this ring in front of it to hold it there. But I think it's really cool. It makes me think of like My Little Pony. Don't the colors make you think of that? And I loved My Little Pony. But yeah, I also love turquoise. Hey, Kay, Abdazzle, Susie's here. It was good, Brian Lucas. Plain yogurt for heartburn. Okay. Hey, Georgia Burke. PJ Mack, welcome. Am I super behind? No. Kimberly Martin, Kelsey Arellano. Welcome, girl. Hey, Panko. I love when Panko joins. Irina Posner. I don't know if you're new, Irina. I feel like you're new and welcome. I don't remember seeing your name before. Hey, Holly Day. Robert Roy. Welcome, my friend. Love you too, Georgia Burke. Yeah, it was just really cold out and I made chili and it was good. Stasia, welcome. Oh, good. I'm caught up. Happy birthday to your brother tomorrow, Wendy Brewer. Yeah, I put fresh jalapeno I chopped up. I chopped up a bunch of bell peppers. Nita's Nook. I did not mean to miss you, girl. I'm glad that you said something. Give Nora some grace? Always. I always give the ex-Scientologists especially some grace. I really can understand what they're going through. Hey, Rita. Your name it's actually with one S. That's why I don't go by it because people pronounced it Marissa. And I think I was 2 maybe, but my dad got really tired of that. It's Marisa. It's pronounced Marisa, which I don't mind that name, but nobody ever said it right. So people still to this day, they say Marissa. So my dad started calling me Reese. It's just what I've always gone by. Georgia Burke, thank you. This one is from Etsy. I got a long time ago. And these two are a maker that I love from Kansas City called Sierra Winter. Hey, Amanda, dear. I bet it is cold. Hey, Eileen S. I've never had venison and I will never try it, Katie Fulton, but I hope you enjoyed that. It freaks me out. I barely eat meat at all. I would like to go back to Fred's last name. Hey, shards of words. I haven't decided. No, you cannot, Ray. Raymond. I would like to change my last name, but at the same time, I kind of love it. I got to tell you guys, it made me think of something. Terry Morgan, hello. Oh my God. I kind of enjoy his last name. I know it's a terrible thing to say, but when I might have told you guys this, but his mother, I'm talking about the ex guys, and I don't want to get into this for too long, but it made me think of the last name thing. When I first did my stream with Aaron, my very first YouTube appearance ever, you guys, most of you were there, my stream with Aaron, my last name is Quibel. And I hate that last name because it's actually kind of I like the French aspect of it. It's a cool last name, but everybody says Quibble, and that's fine too. I just don't really care. I've had so many damn last names, it doesn't matter at this point. But when I did my first stream with Aaron, his elderly mother watched the stream, and her first response after all that, the crying, the trauma, the talking about all that terrible stuff in that stream, "Hey, Helena, babe, you need to go back to bed." Her response to that was, "Our last name isn't on that, is it?" That was it. Does that form a pattern for you guys? Like me, 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 me. Yeah, that was it. That was our reaction to that whole thing, that whole 2-hour stream. Our last name isn't anywhere. She's not attached to our last name on there, is she? Yeah. So great. I thought that was such a caring thing to say for someone who talks about being a Christian so much. The whole family does, but I just thought that was really interesting to me that every time I was around this person, it was God this and God says that, and we should follow the Lord's words on this. However, that just didn't feel right to me. There's so many weird things, and I'm not bashing religion, guys. I only know Scientology. I would never bash religion. I don't like it though throughout life. I don't like it when people say to me like, "Well, I'm a Christian." It feels very judgmental to me when people say that. I don't know what you're trying to say when you tell me that. And that whole family would do that all the time. Like, "Well, we're Christians, so we weren't raised in a cult like you." It was just super judgmental feeling. Like, I hid the fact that I was a Scientologist. I was never like, "Well, I'm better than you because I'm a Scientologist." Because honestly, Scientologists feel that way. LRH says all the time that we are the least in the mud of the rest of the world. You guys have no idea how much Scientologists judge the outside world. We are so much better than you because we're OT and we know where we came from and we know where we're going. Like, it's so ridiculous how full of themselves Scientologists are. But you never saw me being like, "Well, I'm a Scientologist, so I'm better than you." I don't like the Christian thing. I don't like it. I don't like people doing it that way. I missed some questions. Do you have inside sources like Aaron? If so, do you get good inside info? I have one person that I have been speaking to that is on their OT levels, and they have children in the Sea Org, and that's all I will say. They are somewhere in the world, and I have been speaking with this person for a long time. Yes. Okay. I didn't want to share that news. I just said you experienced a loss, but Mary Barron's older brother died this morning. He was a really good looking man. I saw your post on Facebook, Mary, and I'm very sorry. The rest of us are too, girl. Thank you, Panko. My live with Michelle, I really enjoyed it too. She was extremely, Shannon says, "What did your ex-husband's mom say about Scientology? Did she ask you about it?" Yes. And he would tell her like what a piece of crap I was because I was a Scientologist. And then I would go visit them. And then he would say things like, "Well, that's her Scientology. That's why she is that way." You know how I have like no boundaries and I'm just pretty open and, I'm kind of different, I guess, from people who were extremely religious. She would notice that and then he would comment on it and go, "Well, that's because she's a Scientologist." And she would go, "Oh, oh, oh, oh." Like she didn't like me at all because of that. I stood out to her. But it was odd because Panko, you think I'm normal? That's such a nice compliment, honestly. She would say all the time, this is something she would say, all of God's children have a place in the choir. It was creepy, and she said it all the time. Also, we're Christians. And I always thought, I don't feel good when you say that. It doesn't make me feel good. It makes me feel kind of slimy. It makes me kind of feel like I need to like wipe that off. Like what is the intention behind saying that? It makes me feel excluded. Honestly, that's my take on it. It makes me feel excluded from your group. Like you have a clique here and I ain't in it. Yeah, I mean, hey, Iwa, I got nothing against guys. It's not about, and I'm not reading anything that's saying that. Hey, April Goodson, but if you're a Christian, that's great. I don't even know anything about Christianity. I would never, ever, ever trash another religion because you guys know where I came from. Also, I just don't play that game. I don't like to make fun of people. I'm not going to say anything bad because I couldn't say anything. It's like politics. I know nothing about it. I would never speak on it. We don't talk about it here. It's the same thing. I'm not going to comment on something I know nothing about. I know nothing about other religions. However, just living up to the age I'm at now, I've heard many people go, well, I'm a Christian. And it always just makes me feel a little bit excluded. Like, what does that mean? So you're better than me? Hey, Lula, you know more than me. Like there's something I don't know that I don't know. It just always felt strange. Real Christians don't go around saying that. Yeah, I don't know. It's very superior, P. Taylor. Yeah, it makes me feel like you are superior. Um, and yeah, Mara's a great person to speak on this. Humans can be so gross. That's what my cousin calls putting ickies on God. Yeah, because Mara is a very she has a close relationship with God. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mara, but Mara is a close friend of mine. And I admire that about Mara because she doesn't make me feel excluded from her life because of that. I really actually um underneath it all, I've always been jealous of people who have a relationship with God. I've always admired it. I wouldn't even know if I'd use the word jealous because I'm not jealous. It's an admiration and I have an empty feeling. It's something that I don't have that you have when people explain it to me that way. And Mara is a perfect example because she loves God. She has a close relationship with God. She doesn't make me feel separate from that. Hey, evil blue eye. She doesn't make me feel, Teresa, I didn't see you in here, girl. Um, I love people who have a relationship with God. I really do. But I don't love being around people who go, well, I'm a Christian. And it makes me feel like you don't want me around. Like I'm not in your group or something. I don't know. It's a strange feeling. It feels critical. Yeah. Yeah. Texas audit. I'm a believer, but I would never come up to someone and say that. Yeah. You want your actions to reflect on that. Which course, Irina says, which course of the ones you did in Scientology made you go the most, dang, that's batshit crazy? Um, Great question. Golly, there's a lot of them though. Actually, speaking of God, Huxley asked me to take him to church this Sunday. He came up to me yesterday, hey, love yourself. And he said, can you take me to church this Sunday? And I thought, yes. Usually I have a man in my life to do that, like Jeff did, Tommy would have. I'm a little bit uncomfortable. In a lot of ways, I feel like Al Pacino at the end of The Devil's Advocate when he's in church and he sticks his finger in the holy water and it starts bubbling. I don't feel like I'm probably a candidate to go to church. I won't feel welcome and I will feel extremely uncomfortable. However, for my child, I will do anything. So I will do that. I don't know where to go. I don't know what church. We'll have to research that. But I can't just drop him off. So I guess I'll go in and just not speak. I don't want to meet anybody. Back to this question, Irina, because it's a good one. I would say one of the creepiest courses would be, well, I didn't do the course. I didn't make it to History of Man, but the book History of Man, I would say is the most batshit crazy. This is a pretty nutty course. Science of survival. It's pretty nutty. Pro TRs was a tough one for me. But honestly, I would say course wise, I just named them. Auditing to me was a little bit more batshit crazy than courses. Like doing the pregnancy assist, pretty nutty, pretty nutty. Yeah. Any kind of NED auditing, which is New Era Dianetics auditing, pretty nutty. Yeah, I would say. Chrissy Lynn, if you don't hear about the Xenu story until OT3, when you do learn other things, evolving from clams, I've heard about auditing, sec checking, and TRs. Where does that actually learning about the religion happen? Hold on, that's a lot. If you don't hear about, I didn't hear about Xenu as a Scientologist because I didn't make it to the OT levels. When you do learn about other things, for example, evolving from clams, that was in History of Man. I've heard about auditing, sec checking, and TRs. I had all of those things. Where's the actual? Well, that starts at the beginning. I mean, I was just told that's our religion. And LRH says that Scientology is a religious philosophy. I don't know that I don't know how to answer that because being born in it, it just is. It's just a religion. But looking at it from afar, um, it's obviously not a religion, right? But when I was in it, it was definitely my religion, and I defended it to the death, right? Alana, and by the way, thank you for your super chat. Alana, you know the way Tom Cruise says it's a privilege to be a Scientologist? That is how some Christians are, Snooty. Yes. And it was a privilege. When I was raised in Scientology, you make a great point, Alana. Thank you for your super chat, girl. Yeah, guys, it's no, Scientologists are the most judgmental group of people I've ever come across. And it is a privilege. Alana's not joking. My dad would say, like, if somebody wasn't interested and he tried to recruit them, he'd be like, well, it's not for you anyway. It's a privilege. And you're not welcome. Like, it was very snooty like that for sure. Yeah, Mara, thank you for seeing me like this, Reese. I love that you never made me uncomfortable. You made me interested. You made me the opposite because that is exactly what I mean by Christians showing. Mara, I don't know if you're a Christian. I don't know what you would call it, but a person of God showing in their behavior and their character instead of going, I'm a Christian or well, we're Catholic. Like, okay, well, that's cool that you show me the title, but I want to know more about you and like your relationship with God. I don't necessarily need you to like slap me with that. Show me, right? Like educate me on that. Yeah, Brandy Lewis, absolutely. I think I got behind. PTSSP course is a nutball, of course, and that is a meaty course. That is a long course. Also, even basic like the student had. I did not do the OT levels. Reese not speaking. Yeah, okay. Hey, Justin Ski. Maybe you'll meet a boyfriend in church. Raymond told me that earlier. Maybe I'll meet a man at church. Guys, that would be a little weird. I mean, I guess it could happen. I'm so sorry for every time someone has used Christian hurt you. God loves you and we do too. I love that, Christy Lynn. Thank you for that in your super chat. Hey, Kaz. Yeah, I will probably read some stuff out of it, Audrey. I want to have a relationship with God. I'm not there yet. A lot of people, you beautiful people, have sent me Bibles, like easy to understand Bibles. Susie Oberholtz sent me a really cool Bible. I appreciate that. It's a slow go for me. I'm not, for instance, taking Huxley to church. I'll do anything for Huxley. So, of course, I'll take him, especially because he asked. There's no question. It's past my comfort zone. So obviously I won't wear this hat. I'll just, show up and be quiet. I don't want to meet anybody. I don't, because we'll be the new kids too, and that's going to be weird for me. I don't want to answer any questions. Tell us about the pregnancy assist. It's long. It starts at the beginning of pregnancy and it goes till after you have the child. You run out the engram of birth. You do all kinds of assists physically during your pregnancy, which are touching, not so much touch assists. My pregnancy, I had Daily, I had something called body comms, body communication assists. They're really creepy. And then every day of my pregnancy, I drank CalMag every day. So there's just a lot of weird stuff that goes into it, auditing wise, but also assists, locationals, keeping you in present time. I saw a chiropractor 3 times a week, an OT8 chiropractor when I was pregnant. Joanne, you don't make people feel less than with religion. If you that much of a Christian would, you should be uplifting someone, not making. Yeah, absolutely. And that's how I feel about Christians, Joanne. I don't have a problem with them. I don't even have a problem if you say to me, "Well, I'm a Christian." It just makes me question it, like I want to know the purpose in telling me that. It feels judgmental. I'm open about life, Panko. Thank you. Lorna, write to me. Please don't be afraid to. I love that you just reached out. What if I found a dude at church? That would be so freaking weird. Do you know how or why you were able to keep your humanity toward people like the homeless, LGBTQ plus, etc. growing up? Thanks to myself for my super chat. Absolutely, yes. Thank you to you for your super chat. Do you know how or why you were able to keep your humanity? That's a great question. From as long as I can remember, okay, long time. My dad was my only, it's a Scientology term, but I would call terminal. He was my terminal, meaning my person in my life. My dad was incredibly racist and extremely anti LGBTQ community. He used the F word toward the LGBTQ community all the time. I hope you know what I'm talking about. I will never say that word. And he just was extremely against just any of those communities. And I could never understand that. I never ever went into that agreement. I never felt that way. I remember even at a young age, I felt very cringy. Like if he would see someone that he thought was homosexual and he would say like these F and Fs, like it was wild to me. Even then. Now, I never said anything to him. My dad was so scary. He screamed all the time. He was a very intimidating man. I wasn't going to go up against that. But I always thought in my little head when I was small, I thought, why? Like, why? I have the same exact questions I do now that I did then. And those questions are this. I've always wondered if you're not hurting anybody, if you're not hurting an animal, if you're not hurting a person, if it's not against the law, why? And I mean that. I know it sounds like a dumb, simple question, but why? Why should it matter that a man is in love with or marries another man? I never understood that. I'll never understand that. And I think because I married a 95-year-old man, so I truly do believe love is love. Like, I know we see that, but I mean that. To me, people question the shit out of me for marrying Fred. They still do. People make videos about it. To this day, people go over on that cesspool and go, she's disgusting. She married this disgusting old man and she's a gold digger. That's no different than making fun of someone for being homosexual, in my opinion. I loved Fred with all my heart, and he didn't have any money. We fell in love. So I would never tear down somebody else for who they love. I think it's sick. It's like, what? Do you pay our bills? Like, do you live here? Why do you even get a say? Like, why do you even get, I don't know. Don't get me. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but I get really upset why we should even have an opinion about gay people. It's not any different to me. It just makes no difference to me. So I think Panko asked me that. No, it was Helena. I'm probably super behind. Yeah, I'm very behind. Guys, I'm going to have to skip over some questions here. So if you had a question you really wanted answered, just put it back in the chat. I don't know. Hey, K Dirks, it just feels like such a simple concept to me. That's my thing. That's why I get so upset. It feels like such a simple fucking concept to me that, like, yeah, Tori Magoo, History of Man, like that two women love each other, two men. Like, I just don't get why you would look at that and go, ew, what? They're human beings. Like, who cares? Who cares? I never understood that. Now, back to Scientology and homosexuality. No, DNV, never. Um, there were few choice Scientologists. I remember going in session with Linda Nelson once. She is Dan O'Connor's mother, meanest Scientologist I'd ever met. She threw chairs at people. She screamed at me so hard, like I would lose hearing in my ears. You can ask anybody growing up at the Church of Scientology, Kansas City, and they will tell you, hey, Tori, they will tell you to this day, Linda Nelson still gives me nightmares. She was the most terrifying woman. Terrifying. She looked like a witch in a good way. I love witches, so nothing against that. Very cool looking lady. Long red hair. A bigger woman, a larger woman, and she always wore skirts and just solid colored tops. Very cool looking lady. Very like she looked like she would cast a spell. Maybe she did. Absolutely unhinged. I'd never seen such anger like I'd seen with this human. So she took me in session. She did my pregnancy assist. And you can imagine how that went because um, larger woman, I would guess you say 200 pounds, 300 pounds, probably 300, maybe 350. She was just a bigger lady, but she took me in session and I was always afraid for her to be my auditor. I was always quiet and reserved and afraid. And we were talking about homosexuality in session. And she said to me, and I actually kind of respected this. Okay. I remember sitting back like this and I was holding the cans and I was pregnant. And she goes, the way I look at homosexuality is she goes, my thing is like, there was probably a husband and wife in a past life who died and came back, and one of them accidentally picked the wrong body, gender. No, she wasn't the only one. I would have other Scientologists tell me this. That was their way of justifying that it was okay in their mind. It was insane. And she was like, I'm guessing that, like, you know, a married couple and the wife accidentally picked a boy body and the husband picked another boy body. And they're just, they're just, they're gay now. And I was like, okay. I thought it was just so weird that Scientologists had such a button on gay people. I never understood it. I never understood even just the fascination with it. It's two people in love, just like you and your husband or you and your wife. I never got it. I was like, why do they need to be studied under a microscope? Who gives a shit? Like, who cares? I'm sorry. Somebody asked me that. I think it was Helena. And I just get really weird. It rocks me because I'm just like, okay, so let's take Scientology out of it. Hold on, Helena. My ex-husband and his family, you guys know who we're talking about, super anti-gay, super anti-gay people. He would say to me all the time, it's against in the Bible. And guys, I don't think that's true because people have told me that's not true, but I haven't read the Bible. So I'm not going to go there or speak to that. But I know that, like, it's not just a Scientology thing. The ex and his family were very against gay people. And I just always thought, again, like, I guess keep your thoughts to yourself on that. Cause it's 2024. It should have never been an issue before this. I just don't see the problem. There's so many other huge major things that should be highlighted that are actually bad news and abusive. Why do we care about who loves whom? I married a 95-year-old. People judge me for that. So I understand, in a way, I feel like, how people judge you for who you love. And it's just like, why? I love this person. Why? Like, why? Now say it with me. You're a brilliant, smart, kind human being all on your own. You did that yourself. Aw, I'm watching, not modding. I love you, Helena. You're so cute. I hope you're feeling better, and thank you for your super chat. God will, I love that. DNV, God will find you when you're ready. I believe that. I strongly believe that. I believe in my lifetime, I will form and develop a relationship with God. I do. I do believe that. I get more and more curious every day, but I just don't want to push myself. I don't want to rush myself, and I don't want anyone to rush me. But I love what you just said, DNV. Fred was religious. Fred was Baptist, and he went to church, and he prayed almost every time. God, it was cute. Fred would pray when we would go out to eat, and Fred was very hard of hearing. Oh my God, Panko. I'm going to talk about her. Fred was hard of hearing, so he talked loud, and God, he was everything Fred did. I just worshiped that man. He was so cute. We'd go out to eat, and guys, I'm not a praying person, but he would hold my hands across the table, and he always started his prayers with Father God. I don't know if other people do that, but he would always go, Father God. And it was so loud. And it was like he had all the time in this world. Fred would pray for like 3 minutes straight, and he loved animals. So it was so cute. Fred would be like, Father God, I just want to say, he'd be like, thank you for Reese and bringing her into my life. And he was so loud because he couldn't hear. So I was like in this restaurant, I was like, and everyone was like, oh, look at that girl with her great grandpa. So it was fine. No one cared. But it was so cute. And he'd just keep going. And then he would go, and Father God, he'd be like, we just want to thank you for all the cute little animals in this world. And he'd be like, and I love watching the birds. And Reese and I love watching the deer. And he was like, bless you, Father God. And thank you. It was so cute. And it was sincere. He wasn't being funny. He just said whatever he wanted to say. And we would just sit there holding hands. And he'd have his eyes closed, but he'd be talking all loud and shaking his head and Father God. And it was so adorable. And I don't know what you're supposed to do during a prayer. People close their eyes. I don't. So I'm always like, I look at everybody else with their eyes closed, and I would look around, and it was just so cute. And people were like, and he'd wear his Navy hat because Fred was a Navy vet. He was in World War II. And sometimes um, we would go to pay for our food, and it happened a few times. People would go, somebody bought your meal and said thank you for your service, and or they'd be like, his prayer was just so cute, somebody paid for your meal. And I was like, and then Fred was so hard of hearing, so I had to shout in public. God, I wish we could go back in time and you guys could watch us together. I bet it was such a riot, because I'd be like, he'd go to pay the bill, and the waitress would be like, somebody already paid it, and he doesn't hear anything. And Fred read my lips. People didn't know how to talk to him. Like right now, the way I'm talking, he would say to me right now, he'd go, slow down, because you couldn't talk this fast, because his hearing aids couldn't pick it up, and he'd read my lips. So for like 3 years straight, I talked like this all the time. Fred and I would talk like this. I would slow down and I would move my mouth so he could understand me. And it just became a habit. I didn't even realize I was doing it. But whenever Fred would talk to somebody like younger, like a server, I'd go, you have to slow down a little bit and look directly at him and talk a little bit louder. It was so cute. And I would go, like, he would go to pay the bill, and I would go, somebody paid for it. And he'd go, what? And I'd go, Grandpa, somebody paid for it, Grandpa. And it was so cute. He thought that was so funny in public, because we were married, and people would come up all the time and go, is he your grandfather? And I would go, my great grandfather. And it was so funny. And Fred would laugh. Hey, Angie Mo. He had, for a guy in his 90s, he had the best humor. Like, nothing offended Fred. He had our humor, and it was so cute. I told guys, the day he turned 95 on February 8th, he went, I'm 95, babe. And I said, I know it. And he said, and I still love Kit Kats and women. And I was like, And maturity does not come with age, Mr. Harley. Oh, good question. Aw. You have to scream at your dad. I didn't mind it. I loved it. And I loved his talk about God. Fred was very connected to God. And I believe now that is my relationship with God. I believe that Fred is a messenger to me through God. I believe that. He is my divine, he's my angel here and he is with God. I believe that. I don't have a concept of God, but that's my concept. And he would say, whenever he would talk about death, I would say, please don't talk about this, Fred. It really makes me sad. And he would go, sweetheart, it's no big deal. And he would go, when God calls my name out of a hat, it's just my time to go home to God's house. Like it was no big deal to him. And that softened things for me. And I had this like harsh idea of what God is. And like, I got this idea that God is like super judgmental. Just coming out of Scientology or being in Scientology, I got that. And Fred softened all of that for me big time. Fred really softened the idea of God, you know? And so I think that that was a gift. Oh, it's so cute. It was so cute to yell at him. God, it was cute. And it was so funny in public. I would just say that. I'd go, Grandpa. Did I have any past life recall during auditing? I did. Yeah. And I don't assume that that's real now, but absolutely I had tons of past life recall. Um, I remember one time I recalled going, it's how I thought that I had died in my last lifetime. I was driving to my sister's wedding on a country road and I crashed my car into a tree. And I recalled the funeral and I recalled being above her. She was like on a bed crying to our dad. Like I had images of it in my head. I'm sure none of it's real, but I was on the cans and absolutely. I don't feel like death is a big deal, but that's coming from a Scientologist point of view. Stevie Nicks said she had past life recall. I believe that. I don't know if I missed somebody's question. Brian Lucas, Fred was so funny about that. He loved Kit Kats and women. I'm telling you. Corvette 7. I appreciate your card, by the way. You sent me a card. How do you pay for all this auditing? You either join staff or you join the Sea Org if you want to. Hey, Press Poet, if you want to join, if you want it for free. If you are not on staff and you are what's called a public, you just either pay for it if you are wealthy or you take out credit cards and you go into debt. That's cute, Raymond. Yes, yeah. I recalled the past life, the whole situation. I also recalled being a man in a past life and dying in a hospital of stomach cancer. I don't know if it's real. I know that Linda Nelson does bathe and she smelled. I don't recall that. I don't recall, but you knew her, Amanda. I just don't recall that. I know it's disgusting. The gay justification was so gross, Tori. It was like their way of being able to accept someone being gay. It's so gross. I never had the same thoughts that Scientologists have against gay people. I'm glad you made it, Press Poet. Yeah, I was going to say something and now I don't remember what it was, but the whole point of this live today, definitely it's all on track with what I was going to talk about. Linda Nelson was I will share this with you guys. This little gem. I was at a baby shower, a Scientology baby shower, of course. And the baby was a newborn. She had the baby and then they had a shower. This baby was like 2 weeks old, maybe. Okay. And Huxley was 8, I think 7 or 8 months old at the time of this baby shower. It was at Linda Nelson's house. Okay. So I'm sitting in a chair holding Huxley, and the girl's opening presents. And then the girl that had the baby, of course, is a full blown Scientologist. And we're all just talking Scientology. And she stands up and she holds the baby up like this. It was weird. And she did not support the baby's head. And the head was just like flopping backwards, and she's holding this baby up and she's kind of doing this, and she goes, he loves it, he loves this, he told me that he likes this. And I was like, like it was like, it looked like it was like she was going to drop fine china. Like his head was not, she was just holding right under the neck and like his butt, so his head was just flopping. And I was like, like I was like, you might want to, like it was making me so uncomfortable. Hey, failed pessimist. And she goes, I would, Reese. She goes, but he likes it. He likes it. It's relaxing for him. He told me he likes it. And I'm like, okay. Like I never bought into that shit as a Scientologist. People did it all the time with babies, with infants. They'd be like, what's that? He just communicated to me. I remember when Huxley was, hey, Beach Bum Beagle, under a year old, maybe 9 months old. And we went to an event. I'm going to go back to the baby shower. We went to an event, and this asshole, big time IAS, International Association of Scientology, Teddy Bragan, I think was his name. Huge reg. He was like the top 3 in the US as far as a reg. Big deal. And I remember he flipped out at the org once. You call Sea Org, even if it's a woman, you call them sir. You always address Sea Org as sir, always. And I remember I walked in and he was there, and the receptionist said hi to him and said, hey, Teddy. And he looked at that dude like straight up Cameron in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And he was like, call me sir, God damn it. Like he was so mad. What a dick swinger. He was like, call me sir. And this guy walked up to me, and I'm holding Huxley. Okay. And he goes, oh, I recognize your son. I'd never met this dude before. And I said, excuse me? What was that? And he goes, he used to be in the Sea Org with me. He just came back. I recognize him. And I was like, what? Even as a seasoned Scientologist, first of all, that's a huge violation. You do not do that in front of the person. That is called evaluation. You do not evaluate a person's case. What is their case? Everything. It's their whole track. It's their mind, everything. You do not tell a person where they came from in front of them. Okay. But yeah, he goes, I recognize him. He was like, he was in the Sea Org with me. He was like, welcome back, buddy. I was like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Okay. You and your shit ass, sir, get out of here. So anyway, let's go back to this. Let's go back to this baby shower. I'll never forget this. Cue up the weirdness. Guys, there's so many. Hey, Shavy. So she's bouncing, flopping this kid's head around, and Huxley is getting really fussy at this baby shower. And I said, Linda Nelson is sitting close by, and she was famous for this. She was known for talking like this. She talked like this, very sweet sounding lady. But out of nowhere, she would start screaming. Amanda, are you in here? Can you vouch for that? That's how you never saw her coming. I believe those were the words of Satan. Never let him see you coming. Linda Nelson lived by those words. She would be totally calm. And I'm not kidding. She would pick up a chair and hurl it. She was absolutely, hey, Sharby, went from one, sorry, Susan P. She went from one, like, da, 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 to, she would start screaming in your face. So that's what happened at this baby shower. Hey, power lies to paralyze. So I'm at this shower, I'm holding Huxley, and he starts getting really fussy. And I said, yep, I can vouch for that. She made me cry for being 5 minutes late to session. She would scream. I've never seen anybody scream like that. Now, her kids, Dan and Kathy, followed suit. They were insane. They were the next two that had the highest level of hate and anger in the org, but they got it from their mom. Jenny, you are usually on the replay. Babe, I love you. Thank you for being here and for being a member. So I'm holding Huxley and he starts getting fussy. Can I finish this story up? I know. Yeah, Katie. And I say out loud, I said, he's been going through something lately. I said, he doesn't usually get upset like this. And I was kind of bouncing him on my knee and I was kind of trying to just chill him out. And I said, I think he's teething. I think that he's in pain because he's teething. That's what I said. Okay. Wholly unhinged. Yeah, she threw chairs. Her son threw a fax machine. Hey, Rochelle S. She's sitting in a chair next to me. And I said, I think he's teething. I think that's what it is. And she out of nowhere goes, how the fuck do you know? That's what she said verbatim. I'm not lying. Nothing. There's a group of women in this room. We're at a baby shower with little kids running around. And she goes, how the fuck do you know? I'm holding Huxley. And I was like, and she goes, how dare you evaluate for him? And I was like, I was so freaked out. Hey, Laura Dupree. And she goes, how do you know he's not crying because he just lost his wife? She was like, he just lost his family in his last life. She was like, he lost all of his possessions. He's got nothing. She was like, he doesn't have his car anymore. He doesn't have his bank account anymore. Flipped out in a room of children at a baby shower. I'll never forget that. I was like, I was so freaked out. And that, I don't know why I was freaked out. That was just everyday Linda Nelson. That woman was so terrifying. She picked up a chair and chucked it like it was a piece of paper at Brenda Argis, my ex-mother-in-law. I was on staff and I know she was evaluating. I agree. I was on staff. It was Thursday night at 10 o'clock. We were about to have staff meeting and the stats were down. And she went, Brenda! And she picked up a chair and hurled it in the academy across the room at Brenda. I'm laughing. It's not funny. I hate yelling too, Kestrel. I absolutely hate yelling. It sends chills down my spine. Hey, Kathy G. I've never seen anything like it. Now, my father was super angry all the time and yelled. It was nothing like that. I've never seen anything like it. I still haven't. Not even in movies. I've never seen anything like it. Brandon, welcome. How on earth did you stay? It's what I was raised in. I mean, it was not something I felt like, one, I could leave, but I don't know, Raymond. It's a good question. It makes me wonder what was going on in her life for her to be that high strung. You never saw Kathy lose her TRs? I did. Now, Kathy was the least of that family. Kathy did not lose her shit as much as Dan. Dan was absolutely unhinged like his mother. Joe Virus, not me. Yes. Yeah. That's actually Ev. Pretty spot on. Ursula, the sea witch. Uh-huh. Yeah, it was insane. It was really insane. And I remember when I went and did drugs, guys, that little stint where I left Scientology and I came back. Hey Kiki, I got your email. I answered you. I talked to Kathy when I was coming back to the org, and she brought up her mom. And I said, well, your mom scares the holy hell right out of me. And I'm not the only person. She goes, oh, she was like, she got that all handled in auditing. And I was like, got what handled? Did somebody switch out her brain? And she was like, oh, she never yells anymore. She's like, no, she's all chill now. And she said, I'll never forget. She goes, she's like a big Marmaduke. And I was like, what the hell is a big Marmaduke? What does that even mean? And that's what she said. She goes, she's super chill. She was like, she got that all taken care of. Like it was no big deal in the first place. Like what she did to scar people for life. No big deal. No. And then I came back and I was in Scientology again for another, 20 years. And I saw chairs fly, pens, pencils, books, screaming. Nothing changed. Absolutely nothing changed. She did need an exorcism. I wish I could have my ex-husband on here, Michael, Huxley's dad, because, hey, Jessica LaBarber, he would tell you, he would tell you, he told me in our marriage all the time, nobody scared the shit out of me and ruined me as much as Linda Nelson. But think about it. She threw chairs at his mother. He grew up in the org. He didn't go to school. He grew up in the org. So he would take his little Game Boy and play at night while Brenda was finishing things up, and he would go on course all day. And he witnessed his mother getting torn to shreds by Linda Nelson. It was horrific. It was absolutely horrible. She was a horrible woman. Yeah, that whole family lived together in that gross house. They did, the whole family. Linda, Ted, Dan, Arla, Kathy, and Scott, all their spouses and everything. They all lived in that gross house. Yep. He does not see Michael. No, he is going to see him, I think, over winter break, though. I think we're going to work that out. Hey, Muffet Lou. But guys, I was just thinking about, where is Linda now? She's OT8. And she is in Clearwater living in a house with Kathy and Ted and Scott. She lives in a house in Clearwater and she's OT8. Yeah, she was married to David at the time. Kathy was. That's right. I was thinking about, this is so on point with what we're talking about, but just some of the things that like I've been thinking about the last couple of days, from that stream I did with Natalie to the stream I did with Michelle yesterday. I've been just thinking about some things. Like when I was talking about the other day, and I kind of had forgotten about it. There's a concept in Scientology, and it's if you are wrong about something. Like for me, I'm trying to think. Like, remember when I did a stream with Aaron, and Aaron said that Jesus Christ wrote the Constitution, and I believed him, and I did. I didn't know. I don't know. Bye, Tori. Are you leaving? Bye, girl. Thanks for coming in. It's a concept like that. If I'm pretty naive about the world, I don't know real world stuff. I don't know geography. I don't know any of that stuff. You guys know this, right? We would get something in Scientology, and I got it all the time, called false data stripping. Okay? False data stripping. And it sounds like what it is. You go and you get on the cans. Hey, secret squirrel. And you get on the cans, and I feel like I have a damn eyelash right here. Or a cat hair. It's probably a cat hair because I live with 500 cats. And their hairs just float everywhere. And I vacuum every single day now. Thank you, Jennifer Folsom. I love doing stuff with Natalie. That's correct. False data stripping. You learn why you are wrong. And Ron Hubbard was right about everything. Yeah, Marissa Martin. I just didn't know. Yeah, Tori, love you, girl. So I would get false data stripping. I am, Shelly, all the time. I would get on the cans and I would get stripped. They strip what you thought. So you give all the reasons why you thought it was this way, like why I thought Philadelphia was a state. And it's not. So you get on the cans and you give all the reasons why you thought it was this and that. And then they strip it. They strip that. And they put up on the e-meter, here's the ethics book, okay? They put up whatever book they're going to put up. And they put you on the meter, and you guys are going to be on the cans right now, and I'm the auditor. And they're going to put this in front of you, and it stands up, and they go, I want you to read that paragraph for me right there, please. And you read it. I don't want a Roomba because I love vacuuming. It's like a pastime for me. It's therapeutic. I don't want a robot doing it for me. And you read it and they go, good. Now, what does that mean to you? And I have to tell you what it means. And then they go, so do you see now why what you thought was absolutely wrong because you thought for yourself? And we're going to have you think what this says now. We're going to replace your own thoughts with this. And that's what false data stripping is. It's what does LRH say about it instead of what do you think? Why did you think that? Hey, Anita Card. Thank you, Press Poet. So that's just wild. It made me think of that. And then it made me think of my stream yesterday with Michelle. And that was a great stream. But I kind of did a little bit of deep thinking about it afterward, and I couldn't sleep last night. And I was thinking about it, and I wonder, Michelle made some interesting points about my solitude in my life. Like I never trust people. I don't let anybody in. I really don't have a lot of close friends. I do now more than ever having this channel. It has taught me a lot to trust people. I consider every one of you in this feed my friend, so it's different now for me. But it does make me wonder why. Did that stem from that? Did they create Thank you, Marissa Martin, me too. Did they create that sense of solitude for me? And I think the answer is yes, for many reasons. And I think that is, they made me fearful of the outside world. Hey, Kay Thompson, fearful of people, non-Scientologists, right? Bye, J Bill. Um, Scientology made me feel like you can only trust us. So it does make me think. I don't know. That was such a concept to me last night. I was like, Michelle really heavily pointed that out, that like you never had any other friends. You never support. Yes, Robin W. That's a good point. Solitude is safe. And I still feel that way. And I don't know if that's a problem. Solitude does equal safety for me, especially nowadays. I was thinking about that too. Like, I don't feel like I can trust a lot of people nowadays. And I was thinking about, like, yeah, Martha Slimmer, I'm not going to date anytime soon. Okay. But like the concept of dating freaks me out now, because what if thank you for being here, Ken. I agree with that too, Brian Lucas. What if it's what if it's somebody who's not who they say they are? What if it's some creepy person that watches my channel? Now, I'm not trying to make myself sound important here. I'm not. I'm a nobody. But still, there are creeps in the world. What if somebody watches my channel enough to know what I like, what I don't like, and then they try to date me and say all the right things because they watch my channel? I don't know. There's weird I spin off, like I spin off into overthinking about stuff. But what do you mean by that, Irina? Hate to throw shade on the community, but so much people in the ex-Scientology community spread total nonsense and gossip and stuff. Maybe. I don't know. Honestly, I couldn't speculate on that because I don't watch. If you're talking about other channels, I've heard that there's drama, but I don't watch it. It's a very real concern. Yeah, I mean, I don't like to think that that would be a real concern because, again, I don't feel like I'm an anybody. I'm a nobody. I mean, I'm a nobody. There's people out there that are somebodies. I'm not a somebody. I'm not tearing myself down by saying that. I'm just not. Nobody knows who I am, and I like it that way. But there could be somebody out there. Hey, Cheryl Ford, this was bound to happen. You didn't have plans for Tommy until he fell into your lap. Yeah. I just worry about it. Yeah, run your impressions by your friends. You don't have to make all your decisions alone, especially if you aren't trusting yourself. Friends and family, yeah, that's true. And I also think red flags stand out to me now more than ever because I'm willing to point them out. That's a fair concern, Reese. I think you are smart for keeping your radar up for people's ulterior motives, both in dating and in friendship. Absolutely, Teresa. It doesn't just have to be in dating. Teresa's right. I have some people who reach out to me and it gives me the creeps. I would never name them, and it hasn't happened in a while. But I've had people reach out and they're like, you and I would get along so well. Like, we should totally be friends. What's your phone number? Can I have your home address? Because it would be easier. Like, I get females who do that to me, and I'm like, no, absolutely not. That gives me the creeps. I don't know who you are. That's no different than someone talking to my son online. Like, I don't know who you are. That creeps me out. I don't like that. And I just get the feeling of the red flag, right? Sorry to clarify gossip and stuff. People calling each other names. OS agents throw accusations about who is sabotaging the movement or hiding crims from the police. Negative opinions. Yeah, see, I don't get involved in all of that, Irina, but I'm sure you're not wrong. I am a somebody, but you have thousands more followers than I do. So you are somebody too. Joe Virus, you're a big somebody, man. I always feel like it's an honor when you're in here. You're way more of a somebody than I am. Hey, Katie Pie. Yeah, it was very private. Very, very private. So private that I didn't even tell my ex-husband about Scientology much. Yeah, Rain, I'll text it to you. Huxley would be considered PTS because he's connected to me. Panko? Yeah, me too. Naomi Hales. Hey, Tracy Dannenberg. One sec, sorry. Okay. True. You had to be, or you would be reported. The harder someone comes at me with their energy, the more my red flags go up. I need to take things slow, and consistency is comforting. Yes, that's absolutely true. I have some people who come at me really hardcore. And how many times was I married? 3, divorced twice. Fred passed away. Hey, Natalie Strasser. It's just now more than ever, I'm thankful for the people that I've known up to now. Like sometimes I have, and I know there's always going to be, this is good old number 90, Kathy G, trusty number 90. This is a good everyday lip stain. It's not too bright of a pink, but it's good. I like it too. Thanks for noticing. I know there's going to be new people, and I'm very trusting. I'm probably too trusting. I would have absolutely gone into the woods with Ted Bundy. No question. No question that I wouldn't still be here if it was the 70s, because I would have, well, perhaps I did. Maybe that was my last life. Honestly, I wasn't here in the 70s. So maybe. I'm just saying I'm very, very trusting, especially of serial killers. So I'm not sure. That's true, Purple Groovy. I'm not sure going forward. Let's just say it. I'm just going to say it. Like, eventually, I'm going to want to. One of my favorite movies I watched last night is Practical Magic. I love that movie so much, Merva. I like to bone down. And I don't mean that in a real floozy kind of way. You can take it however you want to take it. But I like to get down. I do. I really, in my previous marriage, that was kind of something that held us together. We both enjoyed that, and we did that a lot. With Tommy, did that a whole heck of a lot. Okay. So I'm a little bit scared going forward, finding someone to do that with, because I'm not going to do it here. I won't bring a man here. I don't really want to do that at his house, because what if it is Ted Bundy? But then what if we go to a hotel room and, he's crazy? Like, what if it's crazy? Um, my therapist said to me on Monday, he goes, Reese, he was like, I shouldn't have to tell you this. I tell my male clients this. He goes, don't stick your dick in crazy. He was like, Reese, don't let someone stick their dick in you that's crazy. And I was like, gee, thanks, Wyatt. That's great advice. How do I know? How do you know? Until your pants are off. And then you got to run down a hall in a hotel with no pants on. And then somebody's going to snap a picture. It's going to go on the internet. Speaking of, there is a video with my ex-husband. I keep waiting for him to release it. I hope he does, you guys. I hope he does. I'm serious. My eye makeup looked so good in that video. I showed it to Michelle yesterday, and I was like, why hasn't he released this? He's releasing all the other footage of anything. He put a video out there of us dancing, which I thought was cute. I loved that video. He put that ugly video of me moving that day when I looked terrible. I have a Hey, Maleficent. I have a video of getting down, and I'm proud of it. And again, like, my eye makeup was all sparkly. I don't know where we went that night, but my eye makeup was spot on. And, I'm not good at eye makeup, So I was like, when is he going to put this out there? Like, when are we going to put, hey, crazy hotel sex? That's unbecoming of a non. We will have to take this up at the next board meeting. Brother, that ain't nothing compared to all the other things happening. You know, I just got out of Alcatraz. I flew on Con Air. I dated a warden over the weekend. I started running from the cops at first, but remember they said suspect is kind of an athletic, thinner build. And then I stopped running and I was like, thank you. And then they cuffed me. That's a meme I stole, but it was hilarious. No, crazy hotel sex is nothing for a nonprofit board member. Please. I feel like you've probably been there once or twice. Don't try. Don't bring that here. I've done way worse things, Aaron, way worse things. How am I still on the board? I hope you're in here still. Can we get an answer for that? Like, after my weekend of being cuffed, you know, that little that felony situation, like how? Are you going to unboard member me when the video comes out? Are you still in here? Aaron, blink twice. Aaron? Aaron. It's actually a requirement. Reese will be in the next episode of Cops running half dressed down a Tennessee dirt road. Yes. I hope it's my upper half. I'm going to be honest. The lower half running is like, yeah, no, it looks like something out of the sea. But the upper half, because these are smaller, everything's pretty bounces properly. You know what I mean? I love that for me. I love that journey for me, Aaron. Thank you so much. And thanks for coming in. Maybe you could have me on your channel sometime. We can talk about that. How I'm not fit to be a board member. By the way, do you like my hat? Because I feel like if we see each other, we should get matching hats like this and go out and interview people. You know what I mean? Aaron, they confiscated her helicopter. The board will need to replace it. That is true. And I actually wanted a different colored one anyway. It's like a matte pink. So let's look into that as well. Thank you so much, Helena, for reminding me. With cowboy boots on. With cowboy boots on, running down a road, except I still would like to have underwear on, but the upper half, nothing on. I'm fine with that. Yeah, let's get Aaron one of these hats. I just got this in the mail today. Yeah, no, we can't run barefoot because I have to keep my feet insured for an OnlyFans page. Yeah. The hat days were fun with me and Aaron. Aaron and I need to do another stream. We only did one. Good Lord. Why don't you have me over at your house sometime, back on your stream? Well, thank you, Kim White. Yeah. Katie Fulton would look amazing because she has really nice, bodacious fake boobs, and they're nice. Not in a thong. Nope. I have to wear my regular boy shorts. Hey, Lisa Vining, because again, everything on the lower half jiggles. Speaking of the merch store, this hat is not in the merch store. Kathy Ann, should we make a hat like this in the merch store? Can we do that? All right, Aaron, I expect an invitation. I am still a board member. I would like to have a stream sometime about why I'm still a board member and why you've kept me on. Because honestly, brother, we both know I'm not qualified for that. I shouldn't be there. Not with all the sex tapes that are out. My OnlyFans channel, becoming a convict, all the things I did over the weekend with that warden. I probably am not qualified for the job. And I think we should do a stream about that. Maybe we should weigh it out, pros and cons, why I should be here, why I probably shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? We can have it up by tomorrow morning. I'd love to put this hat in the merch shop. Thank you, Merva. Guys, speaking of the merch shop, this is weird. Came out of nowhere, but I thought of it today. Yeah, Irina. I'd love to make an OnlyFans. Do you think people would come over there and pay me? Because I would do it. Again, the video that the ex has in his possession is a nice one. It's nice. You can really see my skills. And I have skills. That's what I mean. Like somebody's going to want to date me, I would think at some point. I mean, I have some things to offer. Yeah, Helena, I would love it. Guys, Raymond, no, we want it just like this, just plain black and white. Don't you guys think? I don't want color. I don't want designs on it. I just want it to be plain. Um, thank you, Paula Pendley. Guys, I'm a very accepting person because of I think where I came from. Everything was rejected. So I don't like feeling rejected and I don't want to reject people. And then I'm going to have to go pretty soon. However, I know Naomi Hales, I thought of that. But his face isn't in the video. It's just me. You know what I mean? It's hot. It's good. It looks good. I keep waiting for him to release it. Katie Fulton, I'll send it to you. It's a great video. It's really a good video. It's kind of hot. Guys, I came up with a t-shirt idea this morning for myself. I wasn't going to do anything. I went out walking this morning. Okay. We're switching here for a minute. And I was talking to Raymond, Daisy Rockefeller. Oh, well, welcome. I'm glad you made it. And I thought of a t-shirt idea because I was talking to Raymond this morning and he sent me this really cool piece of artwork. And it said, although it's going to be too hard to find because we've texted so much since. Well, maybe not. Okay. See this? It says, it's a piece of artwork, which I think is really cool. And it says, bull fight her, bull fight her. See what I mean? And I was walking and I was like, that is so cool. I like the concept of that. I also just love tough women, right? Like that is so sexy to me. Bullfight her, right? Do you guys get it? I don't know. But this came to mind for me and I was like, I want a t-shirt made and I'm having a t-shirt made in my merch shop, but I'm getting it made for me. This is going to be the front because I always said with my ex-husband, I thought of this part. I'm a snake charmer. I always felt like a snake charmer. I always did because I had to charm that snake. So I thought, this is the front. Now tell me if you guys agree with this. And that's the back. To me, that you can interpret that however you want. I interpret it as strength, female strength, right? So like snake charmer on the front because I had to be a snake charmer. And now what all I've gone through with him, bullfighter. We're fighting the bull. I don't know. I feel like other people will interpret it however they want, but I thought that is so cool. Snake charm her, bullfighter. I don't know. It was just, I kept walking. I was walking my dogs and I was like, I love that. I love it so much that I put it on the front of my phone. I just thought it was really cool. It can be read as violent. Well, that's how you interpret it then, Joe. That's what I mean. It's not to me. Not at all. But I mean, some people may interpret it that way. It's kind of, yeah, it's to me, it's women empowerment. It empowers women. She was a snake charmer and now she's a bullfighter. Ass kicker. Yes. I love that. And again, not everybody's going to like it. It's not for everyone. Like when I sent it to Kathy Ann, she didn't even really understand the concept. She was like what? And I was like, see, that's what I mean. I kind of like concepts like that where you're like, it makes you think, almost like a license plate where you're like, oh, I get it. Like it takes a minute. For me, yeah. Like you can't, hey, blow drill. Hey, Dylan. It's clearly pointing to her being a female bullfighter. Yes. Bullfight her. Like I just think it really to me makes yes, Teresa. I was wondering what your idea of that would be, Teresa, because you and I are very similar in how we think that way. I think it empowers. It's a very empowering message for women, but also like women who've been through things, which what woman hasn't, and came out on the other end of it, right? Oh my God, I know I hate bullfighting so much. Wow. Hey, Jenny Stout, just got here before you go. No, I love your gut. I love you, girl. What a nice thing to say, Jenny Stout. Thank you. Yeah, her fights to bull. Yeah, I just like it. You need to add, yeah, we have a t-shirt, I think, that says that, Anita Card. I love that, Press Poet, as a writer and wordsmith. I love it. It was so cool. It's definitely female power vibes. Yeah. It was so yeah, hear me roar energy. I just couldn't stop thinking about it. Panko, that's such a nice thing to say. Thank you, Panko. Um I couldn't stop thinking about it. Yeah, Merva, I just was like, I kept walking and I was getting more energy doing my walk. And I was like, I want a t-shirt that says that. I want a t-shirt that says snake charm her, bullfight her. I just think it's cool because it makes me think snake charmer, bullfighter, but it's her. Yeah? Like, do we all? I don't know. I just thought it was super cool. Meredith Keith, want to say I'm proud of you and you're winning at life. Thank you, Meredith. What a nice thing to say. That's so cool. Daisy, I'd wear that on a t-shirt to my next family court hearing. That's the perfect place to wear it. You know, we could even do hats that says it, like snake charm her and then bullfight her in the back. I just really liked that. Do you like that font, Shelly? I wondered about that font. Yeah, and that could be. Yeah. People are going to decipher it however they want. Shaby, would you say here? I mean, no disrespect, but I definitely thought Tommy was like the person you just described, acting like the ideal person, especially when he called you kid. Oh yeah, Tommy is very close friend of mine, and good, Teresa. I'm so glad. Um, we just didn't make it as a couple, and that's perfectly okay. I hope, honestly, yes, Medusa feeling. I hope that Tommy finds somebody. Like, I hope he can be with someone. He deserves it. We just aren't a fit, but I know that hopefully we'll stay friends. I shouldn't say I know. We might not. I don't know how that's going to work out, honestly. I don't know how his life's going to take off, and his life is taking off with his channel. We don't talk as much, and I'm sad. I think about him a lot. I think about the things he did to make me laugh, the things he never invalidated me and made me feel bad. But I also think this is a good thing. Like, this is a good thing. I will find somebody that really wants to be with me. And I want somebody who really wants to be with him. Like, I'm not gonna stop. Hey Tracy, until I find a guy that really deserves me and wants my time, you know? So that's what I have to say about that. I hope the best for Tommy though. He will always be a friend of the channel. Absolutely, he will. I have no bad feelings toward him. It's just, I hate the fight that we had. I'm still shocked at the way it all ended. I still am very shocked by that. The way that ended, I was like, I had no idea. I did not see that coming. I didn't know it was going to happen. Hey, Tony Scooter. And, but now that I've had, a week and a half or something to think about it, I'm like, choose people who choose you. At the end of the day, I mean, it's okay. That's nothing against Tommy, but I will find a man who really, really wants to be with me. And if a guy really wants to be with you, he's going to make that known. That's my experience. And I've got a lot of experience, guys. I've been around the block, and that's not something I'm proud of, but it's true. Guys will, if they're into you, they're into you. They will definitely let you know that. So I will find another one. I shared a lot with Tommy. I shared my body and my mind and my life with Tommy, and I did that with all the guys I've been with, and I wish him well. I don't have any ill will toward him. I will miss him. He's hilarious. He made me laugh. He's definitely fun to get down with. Like, I would say that was a huge chemistry that we had. I wouldn't be opposed to that in the future, and he wouldn't either, but I think that would hurt. We actually kind of talked about that, and I think that would hurt in the long run. It's probably not good for us to do that, but I feel so safe with him that it's one of those things where I'm like, I would still sleep with you, and he would too, in a heartbeat. He said that. He's like, I would still sleep with you, but I don't think that's probably wise. My therapist doesn't think that's a good idea. Because I fall in love, I need to have that emotional attachment with it. So I probably need to find somebody who truly loves me and wants to be with me. And I still have a few years left in me of being cute, I think. Like somebody's going to want me. That's how I keep looking at it every day now. I'm like, it's not time. I don't want to be in another relationship right now. I should never jump to another relationship. That's always been my pattern. Um, but somebody, I promise, like is going to want me. I just know it. I'm teaching my granddaughters be a jellyfish, beautiful and delicate, but strong as heck. I love that, Ginny Stout. And yes to that. Did you think he misinterpreted something you said? What do you mean by that? I don't understand. What are you referencing that there to? Yeah, SJ, it's not good. Yeah, I agree with this. It seems sudden and random. He had been talking about how much he missed you and wanted to be with you on his stream the day before you broke up. I agree with that 100%. I hadn't seen him in 6 weeks. I was so excited to see him. And guys, I'm not saying he wasn't excited to see me. I think it was genuine, but it ended just as fast as it started. And so, um, I mean, guys, we can't shame him for that. That's his choice and he gets a choice. It's totally okay. But I want that with somebody. I do better being in a relationship. I want to be alone right now. I'm enjoying my alone time. I want to prove to myself I can support myself and my son. I want to prove to myself I can be alone because I have been alone before, but not long enough. And then I want to be able to be choosy about a guy. I don't want to just pick anybody. Yeah, no shame to Tommy ever. Tommy will always be my friend. I feel like I could call him anytime and he would always be my friend. But that's not enough. And so, it's okay. He can't offer that to me, nor does he want to offer that to me. And that's perfectly okay. But bye, Lupita. Yeah, I have proved it, Robin W. You make a good point. But again, somebody will. That's how I keep looking at it now. I'm like, somebody will. Somebody will. There's always going to be somebody that's gonna want to be with me. I have things to offer. I'm not to the point where I believe in myself yet there, so I need some work. I have some work to do. Um yeah, not really, Mara. Not really. Not much. We had a disagreement about my channel. Actually, we had a disagreement about my channel and I just said it's my channel and I will never let anybody Huxley is texting me. That's funny. I will never let anybody tell me anymore ever again how to run anything. And that's not Tommy's fault. He wasn't being super possessive or anything. But there was a line in the sand for me where I said, nope, no man is ever going to tell me again how I'm going to do things. It won't work that way ever. I just can't. I can't accept that. I came from a very controlling cult and I feel very strongly about making my choices from now on going forward. And I will make that clear to the next person I'm with. Like you will never tell me how to run my channel, my business, my life, my parenting, nothing. Yeah. Yeah. Advice is advice, but the final decision is always yours. That's how it should be. Absolutely. Bye, LaDonna. Yeah, Rochelle, I agree. That's so nice. Nothing but love. Someone special is going to see your amazing soul and it will be perfect in time. I know when it will be right and I know when it won't be right. Let's put it that way. I just know. I always know. Aw, blow drill. You're a genuine person, Reese, and it will be a great catch for your next romantic journey. Thank you, Dylan. That's really, really sweet of you to say. Um, Just repeating my earlier question, Shaby. I love your picture, by the way. Did you ever enjoy Scientology? I know it's all you knew, but was it ever fun? Parties? Did you ever look forward to anything on court, going on course? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It was all I knew. So, yes, like events, they'd get us all revved up for a fundraiser or an event. Um, I would call an event a party, like when we would have a fundraising event. Yeah, they would definitely. I mean, they made funerals fun, not for me, but like they would have clappers and be loud. I did often look forward to going on course if there was something really cool that I was learning about. Yeah, no, it was no joke. I mean, again, you have to look at it like I didn't have any other opportunities of fun. So that was fun to me, right? Like that was my moment of fun because I didn't go do fun things. So yeah, I would say I can recall many times being on course or going in session and going, I love this. I love this. You know, my needle would float and I'd get all keyed out. So yes, absolutely. Dang, Aunt Nene Hobbs, that sounds amazing. Lorna, North Boulevard Church of Christ. I don't know where that is. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you for chatting. Nancy, thanks for the gifted memberships, babe. That's so nice. I love you, Nancy. I love it when people do that. Thank you. Good point, Dory. If someone is judgmental, it generally means they're hypocritical. Yeah, I could see that. Guys, so I'm going to probably hop off. Um, I hope I didn't go too far. Like, I feel good about what I said. Even the Tommy stuff at the end, it made me feel really good actually talking about that with you guys. It helps me sort things out to say things aloud, and I kind of process it that way. Um, We're all just making this stuff up as we go along. It's good to get to know yourself before you get involved with a relationship again. Castrol 100%. Yeah. Now I'm excited. Thanks, Joe Virus. I'm excited to date again, like to meet somebody. I love being in love. I have to tell you that. It's my favorite thing. I absolutely love being in love. And I can think all the times in my life I've been in love and that feeling. And it usually doesn't go away for me. You know, when I was with Tommy, I had butterflies with him all the time. I was very much in love. I looked up to him. He taught me things. Like it's such a fun feeling. And I can't wait to feel it again. And I will. I absolutely will. And I look forward to it. And I just know I'm going to meet somebody and they're going to be like, why are you not in a relationship and getting, I hope they're excited to know me and I'm excited to know them. And I think it will happen for me. I love you guys. So tomorrow I need to send those to Natalie. That reminds me. Hey, King's Kid. Oh, you got it. See, Nancy got you a membership. That's so cool. Thanks, Bigsy. So tomorrow I'm going to be on with Nat. We're going to multi or simul stream or whatever you call it. I think it's going to be around 5 p.m. Central tomorrow. Thanks, Sandy Wandy. And we're going to do the Scientology housewives screenshots. And that is so much fun. If you guys watched me and Erin do those months ago, it's hilarious. So I'm going to send them to her and we'll put them up on the channel. And it's, hey, Becky USA. It's so much fun. And I think it's going to be really honestly funny, but more fun to do it with a woman. I like doing those with Erin, but it's going to be so much fun to do that with another female because it's an all-female group that I got the screenshots from. Guys, the screenshots are going to be from a Scientology moms group that I was in. And it's some creepy, wild stuff about like, I'm 9 months pregnant and we're looking for Thetan to pick up the body. Like creepy stuff from the mouths of Scientologists. I love pulling back the curtain for you guys. I love being able to pull back the curtain and show you how Scientologists really talk when they're in their environment and they're seasoned and they're talking with other Scientologists. It's fascinating stuff. And it's how I talked all the time. But it's just they don't talk like that when they know you're watching. So it's going to be cool. It'll be fun. Natalie's in for a laugh as well. But thank you for listening to me today. I really appreciate the input. I always do. I don't think you realize how therapeutic these are for me. I get so much out of it. I absorb so much of your guys' energy from these. I'm reporting this channel. Okay. Well, you do that. And I don't really know what that means, but you go for that, girl. Reach for the stars. Get out there and be somebody. Write a book about it. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you, Dawn Gloves. Love you, Viruses. I will see you guys tomorrow on my channel. Natalie's doing it on her channel. Please make sure you're subscribed, except the lady that wants to report me. Everybody except her. Make sure you're subscribed. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me. It means everything. It's so important to me. And I always feel so good when I'm done with a stream. It just feels good. I don't know how else to put it. Teresa, I love you, girl. Bye, Mara. Thanks for being here. We've covered a lot today. Keyed out, yes, means unstressed, very happy. Keyed in means you're nervous and introverted about something. Keyed out means I'm keyed out. Like right now, I feel very keyed out. Thank you for clarifying that with us, Amanda. That's what that means. It's Scientology talk, guys. Love you, and I will see everybody tomorrow. And here comes Fred.